So morning everybody on this lovely sunny morning, and this is the end of our series of Niyamas, which are sort of our positive duties, our observances that not only affect us, but they affect everybody. So it's about our environment and us living healthily, mentally, physically, and emotionally. So we've been through Saucha, which was cleanliness or clarity, I think I prefer to call it. Santosha, contentment. Tapas, discipline or enthusiasm as well. And Svadhyaya last week, which was self-study. And this week we come to Ishavara Pranidhana, which I always sort of get mixed up with the last word, Pranidhana, Ishavara Pranidhana, which in literally sort of means surrendering to the divine. But you could actually sort of say, well, this is what all these niyamas and also the yamas before that we did in the past are all building up to. So it's allowing us to one good thing I think it sort of said was that you can, it's trying to sort of connect, making a strong connection with the higher power. So if you sort of adhere to all of these niyamas, we sort of get rid of the things that don't serve us, and we sort of get rid of those habits, those sort of habits that maybe don't make us feel very good. And we really concentrate on the things that make us feel more in touch. That is when we start to realize that we're part of a much bigger picture. It's just not me, ourselves, our egos, our lives, worrying about all these little things that go on in our lives. It's actually, we're part of everything. We're part of, we're all part of the animals are all the same thing. Every living thing, the plants, the rocks, the earth, everything, the universe. We're just part of this massive universe. And then the point of yoga is the union. So it's uniting, we sort of say it's uniting the mind, the body and the spirit, but also it's the union of the whole human experience. So all of our paths and stories, you can start to sort of bring it back and say, all our paths and stories vary, but we're all alive. And it's not just us that are alive, it's everything in the universe that's alive. And whatever you believe in, you might, there's a type of yoga called bhakti yoga, and actually that is the type of yoga that's practiced most widely in the world, not as much in the Western world, and that is the yoga of devotion to higher power. And thinking about a higher power, it doesn't necessarily have to be God. Maybe, God, it is to some of us. It could be, we could consider it Mother Earth or the Divine Mother, source of light, just the divine. Some people might think Shiva, or it could be nature or the universe. So we can use our yoga, our physical yoga practice, which of course we include the mind and the spirit in it as well. We can, to invoke the spirit, you can actually consider that as we move, it's almost like a moving prayer. So really concentrating. So as we keep our mind inside and stop it wandering off to other things, we're almost conducting a moving prayer. And today I really want you to think about surrendering to grace. So just really allowing yourselves, to think about just being part of this massive, amazing universe, and how we're not just an individual, We are an individual, but we are much, much bigger than that. So let's just start off with breathing. So just coming into contact with your breath. So just noticing how it is to start with. Does it feel a bit uneven, or does it feel quite soft? Does it feel shallow? I'm not making any judgments about it. All we're doing is just noticing it. So just noticing your breath. Maybe remembering that the surrender, which is another translation for Ishavara Pranidhana, the surrender happens when we invest our total presence into whatever we're doing. The mind wanders off, just gently bring it back to the breath. Maybe noticing it at the nostrils. Maybe placing a hand on your abdomen, so you actually feel the physical movement of the breath. And then let's just bring a count into it. So let's inhale for the count of 4. Just hold it at the top of the breath for the count of 1. And exhale to the count of 4. And just hold the exhale for a count of 1. Inhale again. So I'll count. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the end of the exhale. And then inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the end of the inhale. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just another couple in your own time. And then just letting go of the counting, just allowing the breath to come to its own natural cycle. And just notice the effect that that little bit of controlled breathing work just might have had on you. And then we're just going to lengthen the legs out. Let's bring the arms above the head and just have a little stretch. Breathe into the whole of the body. Bring the hands back down by the side of the body, the arms. And let's bring the left knee towards the chest and hug the left knee in. Feel the back of the right leg against the ground. Allow the shoulders to really soften, the shoulder blades to soften to the ground. Allow the right leg to be heavy. And then just place the left hand on the knee and circle the left knee around the hip socket. Really feel into that socket, that hip joint, and then the other way. Bring the knee back to center and lengthen that left leg up. And just circle the foot around the ankle a couple of times, and then the other way. And just release the hands and circle the leg lengthened around the hip. That's it. And then the other way. However big you want to make the circles, just feeling into it. Bring the leg back to center and just lower it down next to the other leg already. And just notice maybe the difference in the hips. Keep the body nice and soft. And then just bring the right knee up to the chest. Just gently hug it in. Feel the back of the left leg against the ground. Just a couple of breaths here. Make sure you've got a nice soft jaw, soft neck. And then place the right hand on the knee and circle the knee around the hip joint. Maybe there's a difference between each hip. And then the other way. And then bring that knee back to center. Lengthen the leg up towards the ceiling. Just circle that foot around the ankle. And then the other way. Release the hands to the sides of the body and circle the leg around. Lengthened as it's lengthened. Just notice maybe there's difference when it's bent, when it's lengthened. And then the other way. One more. Bring it up to center and lower it down next to the other leg. And just notice the hips here. Notice the legs. Walk the feet back. Bend the knees. Place the feet flat on the floor. Just feel the feet on the floor. Bend the elbows. Just bring the arms, forearms up. Let's circle the wrists around the hands around the wrists. And the other way. And just wiggle the fingers. And then we're going to bring both knees to the chest. So I'm going to circle both feet round together. And then the other way. Place the hands on the knees and just circle the knees around the sitting bones, around the hips. Much smaller movement, and then the other way. That just helps you sort of notice how it affects the back when you circle the legs. And then back to center and hug the knees in. And then we're going to place the feet on the floor, hip distance apart. That's it. And we're going to bring the left ankle across the right knee. Quite early in the practice, we're doing a thread the needle. So we thread the left hand between the legs, lift the right foot, and then we lower back down and we just draw that right thigh towards us. And just notice how the hip is already. Breathe into the left hip. Notice where you're holding and just allow yourself to let go. We do want to be drawing that right thigh towards us so that we get that slight opening in the left hip. That's it. And we're just going to release it here. Release the foot to the ground. Notice the hips again. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Thread the right arm between the legs. Take hold behind the left thigh. And then just lower down. Notice how the right hip is this time. Release the shoulders, release the jaw and the forehead, soften the neck, and just draw that left thigh towards you. Take the breath right into that right hip. And then release. Bring the feet both to the floor. Bring them that distance apart. Let's bring the arms into cactus arms. So bent at the elbows, really nice opening across the chest. And then just take the knees from side to side, rolling across the hips. And then bring the knees back up to center. It's your choice to either bring the hands behind the thighs, and have a couple of rolls on the spine, or to just roll over to the side and come up to seated by coming over onto the side. So, and we'll just come into Sukhasana. Notice which leg you've put in front first. And let's just lean back and change the cross of the legs. So we have the odd leg that we don't normally use in front. That's it. And let's just bring the shoulders up to the ears and just release them down. That's it. And we're just going to bring the hands to the sides of the body, the fingertips. We're going to inhale, raise the arms up, touch the fingertips, and exhale, lower them down. Inhale up and exhale down. Keep the sitting bones really glued to the ground and just slide the right arm out and bring the left arm up. Press the sitting bones in and just feel that lovely opening in the left side of the body. Take a breath into that. And then inhale, come back down. Bring the right arm up, slide the left arm out, and breathe into the right side. And then bring that right arm down. Just take the left hand to the right knee, gently twist, feel the length in the spine, and back to center. Right hand to left knee, gently twist. And back to center. Make sure you keep the thighs really nice and released. You're just going to interlace the hands and press them forward. Just press them forward and open that gap between the shoulder blades. You're almost arching your back, bringing the a curve to the front of the chest more. So just feel there. And then bring the arms up. Feel the lovely opening up the sides of the body, the front and the opening in the front of the body. And then release, bring the hands behind, interlace them, really open up the front of the body. That's it. And then just see if you can just lean forward a little bit. So we're leading with the heart. Today we're going to lead with the heart for the whole practice. So thinking about that heart area. Then we can release the hands, keep the heart coming forward, and just bring the hands in front to wherever they want to come today. Keep the heart coming forward. So we're lengthening the lower back, but we're creating that lovely space around the heart. And then we're just going to walk the hands back, bring the hands to the knees, and just circle the rib cage around the ribs. And then the other way. And then just take a breath to notice how you're feeling. I'm going to take a couple of breaths here with a mantra that just really helps you to keep your mind concentrated, connected to the breath. We're going to just take the mudra called Pran Mudra, and with the fingers in yoga, we consider the thumb is fire, the little finger is water, and the ring finger is earth. So we're actually going to bend those, the little finger and ring finger, and just touch the edges with each finger. Just extend softly the other two, index finger and ring finger, and just bring them to rest on the thighs. And this sort of allows the energy to move around the body, as well as reminding us of that connection of all the elements as well. And then we just only going to take a couple of breaths here. And we're going to, as we inhale, we're going to say to ourselves, so. And you can almost sort of hear that in the throat as you inhale, so, hum. And as you exhale, you say, hum. So it's so, inhale, hum, exhale. And that actually means in Sanskrit, that I am that. And it's a really good, while you're practicing, it's quite good to maybe bring that in now and again. So, hum. So let's just take a few breaths here. And then just letting go of the mantra, releasing the hands. And we're going to come over onto all fours. Each time you move, you transition into another position, really noticing each part of the body as it moves. And then noticing the different feeling of the hands against the ground, maybe the shins against the ground. Now that you're facing the ground, notice the length in the back of the neck, the 10 toes touching ground. Let's come into cat-cow first of all. So just inhaling, bringing the heart forward, just letting the heart shine forward, and then exhaling, taking the spine to the ceiling, emptying all of the breath out. Inhaling, feeling that lovely opening in the shoulders. And exhaling, allowing all the breath to empty out, taking the navel to the spine. And just carrying on a few of these to your own breath. We could also consider our yoga practice, our physical asana yoga practice, with regards to the sort of moving prayer, of actually using it to sort of really thank our bodies and appreciate our bodies, what they can do, what we're able to do with them. Let's do one more. And come back to center. We're just going to bring the left knee up to the side like a dog and circle that knee just 3 times one way and 3 times the other way. Again, feeling into that hip joint. And then we're just going to bring the leg down. Maybe notice the difference between the hips. Bring the right hip up, circle that knee. However big the circles are good for you today. 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the other. And then bring that knee down. That's it. Let's take the hips back to the heels, lengthen the spine out, walk the hands forward, come onto the fingertips and feel the length in the spine. Breathe into the whole of the back. Flatten the hands to the ground. We'll just circle the hips round the knees. Waken the spine, move the energy in the spine. And then the other way. And bring the hips back to the heels. Just feel that length. We're going to come up to all fours again. And we're just going to walk the hands forward. You might come onto the forearms first of all, and then just bring the forehead down to the ground and just really let the bottom stick up into the air and let the heart drop towards the ground, melting heart. So the hips are above the knees. And you might even feel that you want to put the chin on the ground and really let the heart meet the ground. Feel that wonderful opening in the shoulders, whether you've got the chin or the forehead. See where else you can release and soften. This is also a nice prone pose of surrender. Notice your breath. And then just pressing into the arms, walking the arms back. Coming into child's pose, maybe bringing the arms behind with the legs, just wiggling the shoulders a bit. And just taking a breath here. Lengthen the arms out in front again. Shoulder distance or a little bit further apart. And then we're going to rock up onto the toes and come up into our first downward dog. Really bend each knee. Fingers beautifully spread. Gazing, the gaze is at the legs. So the back of the neck is nice and long. And then spread the toes out. Come up onto the tiptoes and lower the heels down. And then really take the hips towards the back of the mat. Tuck the armpits under, press into the roots of the thumbs and all of the fingers. Tips of the fingers, and the joints of the fingers. Nice deep breath here. And then looking towards the hands, walking the feet up to the hands. Hip distance apart, taking hold of the elbows and swinging from side to side. Let the head be heavy, let the head nod and shake. And then bending the knees, rolling up to standing, bringing the head up last. And just taking a breath here. I'm just going to, oops, the grips have all fallen out. So we could be facing each other to start with. Let's just lift the toes up and lower them down. So we're just going to do a nice flow with the arms, sort of opening up the heart and a nice prayer flow. So we're going to inhale and raise the arms up, really stretch up, bring the palms together, and exhale, let the shoulders drop. Inhale, bring the arms to cactus arms, feel that beautiful opening, and exhale, see where you can soften into the pose. Inhale, bring the arms back up, and exhale down to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms round, bring them up above the head. Exhale, release the shoulders down. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, soften the whole of the heart and the lung area. Inhale, back up, really stretch the whole front of the body. And exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. One more time. Inhale, sweep the arms wide for that beautiful opening in the chest. Bring the palms together, maybe look up at them. Exhale, let the shoulders release. Inhale, cactus arms, take the elbows back. Exhale, soften. Inhale, bring the arms up, palms together, feel the length in the body, and exhale to heart center. Just take a breath here. We'll keep the hands at heart center, move to the front of the mat. That's it. We're going to press the whole of the feet into the floor, tuck the tailbone maybe a little bit under so you can feel that engagement across the front of the hips. Press the palms into each other, reach the crown of the head for the ceiling. We're going to inhale and reach the arms up again. And this time we're going to bend the knees and exhale, forward fold. Let the head be heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. And exhale, forward fold. And then we're going to inhale, press into the feet, sweep the arms up wide again. Bring the palms together and back to heart center. Surya Namaskar A. We're going to do that again. So inhale, sweep the arms up, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands each side of the feet. Let the head be heavy. We're going to step the left foot back. That's it. See if you can just come up onto the fingertips and just really reach the heart again forward. So we want to reach with the heart. We're bringing the heart and the chest between the shoulders. And then lower the back knee, press the hands into the ground. And we can just bring that right foot back. And we're actually going to come back up into downward dog. So feel the tips of the fingers, the roots of the fingers, the roots of the thumbs. Follow, take your mind all the way through the spine to the hip bones and then down the legs, gently taking the heels towards the ground. And then we're going to roll back down onto all fours. Keep the toes tucked under and let's just take the hips back to the heels. Touch the forehead to the ground if it comes there. And then back up onto all fours. And then we're going to bring the left leg forward between the hands. Tuck the back toes under and raise that knee. And once again, draw the chest between the shoulders. That's it. So we're really letting the heart shine today. And then we're going to step that back foot forward, press into the feet and sweep the arms up again, palms together, down to heart center. And let the thumbs rest against the sternum. Notice the body. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. You draw the shoulder blades towards each other. And exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back this time. Lower the knee. First of all, let the heart shine. Keep the heart shining. Bring the arms up. Let's bring the palms together. Really feel that length in the sides of the body, in the front of the body. And then let's bring them to cactus arms again, like we've been doing. So just really lovely. You feel that lovely opening in the armpits, I think, as well. And all around the back of the ribs, the front of the ribs. Draw the hips towards each other. Lengthen the arms up. And then bring them down each side of the foot. Raise the back knee. We're going to step straight back to downward dog. Beautifully spread fingers, beautifully spread toes. Taking the hips back towards the back of the mat. And then your choice to either come down onto the knees to bring the right leg forward or just stepping that right leg forward. So meeting there. Leading with the heart center again. Lowering the back knee. And let's bring the palms together. Bring the arms up above the head. Maybe you can feel the arms against the ears. And then opening up, that's it, the chest. Breathing there. Bring the arms back up. Exhale, lower them down. Raise the back knee and step the foot forward. That's it. Bend the knees and sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. That's it, just take a breath here. And then we're going to come in to pyramid pose. So we want, we're going to bring the arms behind. And I think last week we brought the forearms. If you've got the space, you might want to bring the hands into reverse Anjali Mudra, which is also a really nice one to do. I'm just showing you here. And that really opens up the chest. So you can either have that or holding the forearms is absolutely adequate as well. So whichever is good for you. If you're just holding the forearms, maybe just gently sort of draw them away slightly, the arms away, not lifting them right up, but feel that you're drawing the upper arms away from the front of the body. So we've really got that beautiful opening in the front of the chest. And we're going to step the left foot back first. So we don't come as far back as we do in Warrior One or anything like that. Really feel that you can feel the whole of each foot on the ground. So you're really pushing into the root of the big toe and the edge of the little foot, little side, and press into the heel. Quite often we can roll over, particularly in the front foot, onto the little toe and the back foot. So really just feel, be aware of the feet. We're going to inhale here. We're just going to fold down halfway and take a breath here. Draw the legs towards each other. And once again, keep the heart coming forward. Slide the hands down so we just interlace the hands and then lengthen the arms and just lower down over that front leg. Take that right hip back, taking the hips back, really lengthening that right leg. Crown of the head comes towards the floor and you might raise the arms right up. Going to bring the hands down to the hips and we're going to bring the back up flat. That's it. And step the feet back together. And just release the hands and just take a breath here. Feeling the whole of the feet on the floor, feeling the length in the body, noticing what's going on. Bringing the hands again, either to prayer position, or finding which way you first automatically come to, holding the forearms, and then see if you could change that. So making it the odd one on top. This time we're going to step the right foot back, draw the hips towards each other, gently take the arms back, still tucking the tailbone under. Remember, and we're leading from the hip creases. Well, we're leading with the heart, but we're folding at the hip creases. So inhale, lengthen the body, and exhale, fold forward. Body parallel to the ground, just breathing here. Press the feet away from each other and then draw them into each other. Feel that lovely opening in the heart. And then release the hands so that they become interlaced. Reach them behind. Take the body towards the leg, maybe raise the arms up. Let the neck be long. Couple of breaths here. And then bring the hands to the hips, press into the feet, come back up to standing. We're going to step that front foot back so we come to the middle of the mat. Just take a breath here. Notice how the body is. We're just going to come into a balance here. So we're going to, let's find our focal point opposite. Remember, at eye level or just a couple of meters in front. And something that's completely steady. That's it. And we're going to bring our hands back to heart center. And you shouldn't really need to take your eye off your drishti point, your focal point, because it's a very easy balance, this one. Remember, always have a wall hand if you feel that you need, you just want to have that stability today, because balance always varies. So press the palms into each other, engage the abdominals, press the right foot into the ground, and take the right weight into the right side of the body. And then we're just going to lift, when we're feeling steady, we're going to lift the left leg up, bring the knee up towards the chest, bring it up as far as it's good for you today. And then all we're going to do is lengthen that leg out in front. Press the palms into the ground, press through both heels, and breathe there, lengthen the spine. And then we're just going to lower that leg down. Release the hands for a minute. Notice how the body is. What's going on in your mind. So as we balance surrendering to the present moment, so really investing all our energy into that present moment. Doesn't matter if we wobble or anything, it's just that we're concentrating. So palms back to heart center, feel the whole of that left foot on the ground, feel the length in the body. And when you're feeling steady, take the weight into the left foot, peel the right foot off, bring the knee up towards the chest. Steady eyes, steady mind, lengthen the leg out. Press the palms into the ground, press through both feet. Notice your breath here. You might even bring back Soham. And then lengthening, lowering the leg down to the ground. Releasing the arms. And just notice what's going on inside afterwards, emotionally and mentally, and maybe physically as well. Let's step towards the front of the mat, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, raise the arms up again. Let's bring the palms together, maybe a little back bend. Bend the knees, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. We're going to step both feet back to downward dog. Bring them in slightly narrower than hip distance apart. Just take a breath here. I'm going to raise the left leg up. First of all, keep the hips parallel and just press through each heel. Press into the hands. So the three-legged dog, we're just lengthening. Leg doesn't have to come up, we're just really keeping the hips even. And then we're going to stack the hips on top of each other. So if you see, I'm opening up my body towards the left, and the left hip is stacking on top of the right. And then I'm just going to bend that left knee. So I'm just opening up that left hip a bit. I'm going to bend the left knee, and the weight of that left lower leg and foot helps open up the hip a bit. Breathe into that left hip. Then I'm going to look towards the hands, and I'm just going to slowly and mindfully bring that leg back round. You can always bend the right knee if you want. And I'm going to step it to the outside of my left hand. I'm going to come back up onto the fingertips. That's it. And just lead with the heart again. So I just want to come here. And you can rock backwards and forwards here. It's quite a nice thing to do. This is lizard pose. Lizard pose. And we just feel the opening in the heart. And then let's lower down our right knee to the ground and untuck the toes. Just feel that length. Maybe feel the length in the front of the right thigh, as well as an opening in the left hip. Just breathe here. And then we're going to flatten, just have the right hand flat on the floor. I think we've all done this before. We're going to bring the left hand to the knee, and we're just going to roll onto the outer edge of the left foot and just open up and just bring that left knee out. And you might look over towards your left. So it's a bit of a twist and a hip opener at the same time. That's it. See, the right hand's on the floor, the left hand's on the knee, the right knee is on the floor, and you're just twisting around. So you might feel a bit of an opening in that inner right thigh. Maybe look over to your left. Now you can stay here, breathing, or you can bring the left foot back flat to the ground, and you can bend the right knee, and you can take hold of that right foot and just open up. Nice quad stretch here. So we just, that's it. And then you're pressing into the left foot, or just stay where you were. That's it, lovely. Just noticing the breath here. So other hand, Francoise. So going the other way, that's it. So using your left hand, that's it. So you're coming into a twist. Lovely. And then release, and always release if you want to before I say release. Don't hold on for me to say release. Bring that leg back, the left leg back. Let's get nice wide knees and just come back for a breath in child's pose. Breathe into the back of the body. Lengthen the arms out. Bring the knees back, hip distance apart, and come up into downward dog again. That's it. Fingers really spread, toes spread. Maybe the feet are slightly closer together than normal because we're going to do the hip opener. Notice your downward dog first. Nice long neck, shoulders are away from the ears. And then we're going to raise the right leg up. First of all, we're just going to press through both heels in the three-legged dog. Maybe press into the arms and take the shoulders back. And then we're going to stack this side. So we bring the right hip on top of the left hip. And then we let the knee bend, and that weight is what's helping open the front of the hip. That's it. Make sure you've got the same weight on each hand, so that you're not putting more weight into one hand. And it's your choice whether to come down onto that left knee to really bend it, or to just step that right foot to the outside of the right hand, coming into lizard this side. And then, I mean, so you can use blocks, or you can come onto the fingertips, or some people's arms are long enough to be, remember, we're all built completely different. I tend to come up onto the fingertips so I can bring my heart out between the shoulders. And then just gently rock backwards and forwards. That's it. And then lower the back knee. Just take a breath here with the heart forwards. Then flattening the left hand onto the ground, rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot and bringing the right hand to the right knee, and then looking over the right shoulder and breathing there. Couple of breaths here. And then either staying here or bringing the foot back flat on the floor, the left hand's flat on the floor, bending the left knee and taking hold of the left foot with the right hand, and then opening up that. You almost stack the shoulders, I suppose, in a way. Press into that right foot. Breathe into the twist, or wherever you're feeling, wherever you are. Remembering coming out if you want to come out of it. And then release the foot with control if you're holding the foot. Bring the hands back down inside the feet. And then step the foot back. Nice wide knees. And just lowering into child's pose. Just for a couple of breaths. And then having one of your blankets handy, you could sort of fold it up. So we're going to hold up, maybe hold one of our hips up with it. Coming back onto all fours. Or you could use a block. If you can use a brick as well. It's quite nice to use a blanket because you can sort of squidge it underneath. Now, we're going to come into sleeping swan, as it's called in yin, and I sort of prefer to call it that, or pigeon in traditional yoga. And it's a real hip opener. So we're going to bring the left knee towards the left wrist, but we want to bring the left ankle towards the right, the left ankle towards the right wrist. So can you see there that I'll come to face forward. So I would bring my knee to there, and then I'd just bring my leg. You can't see me there, actually. If I come at a bit of an angle. I'll show you with the right leg. So we're doing it with our left leg. So I'd bring my right knee forward, but then I'd want to just bring, wherever it falls. I mean, I keep my leg quite in because you've really got to protect your knees, or you can bring it out a bit further. I'm going to do it with my left leg so that I can then show you with the hip. So I'm bringing my left knee towards the left wrist, and then bringing the left ankle a bit further towards the right wrist, but not far at all. If you just we're almost going a bit perpendicular. And then I'm going to walk my right leg back. This is where the blanket or the brick comes in. See, I've got this space here. I'm going to take my blanket and I'm going to put it under my hip. And then my hip supported. And I'm going to come onto my fingertips and really open up my heart. So this is really lengthening that front right hip flexor. It's really great. When you spend a lot of time sitting, this is one of the best postures to sort of open up the back, open up everything else. Take a couple of breaths here. And then let's come down to the forearms. Let's just come down to the forearms. Breathe into that left hip. You can stay here, or you could just bring the arms flat in front. You might bring the forehead down to the ground and lengthen the arms out. This is where the sleeping swan sort of name comes from. So it's your choice. You might stay on the forearms, or you might come down. And let's come back maybe to that so hum breath. This is another prone pose, a pose of surrender, a bowing pose, bowing to the divine. Another breath here. Walk the hands back. And if you're doing the recording, you could always keep it for longer and just hold the recording. And then we're just going to bring that leg back, bring the blanket to the other side or the prop to the other side. Just take the hips back to child's pose. Just notice maybe the difference in the hips. You might feel a lot more space in your left hip, or it might have a little tingling in it. And then back up to all fours to do the other side. That's it. So the right knee this time is coming towards the right wrist. And then we're just bringing that right foot. You can sort of creep it forward with the foot, or it's absolutely fine to just keep it low. You've really got to protect the knees. What we don't want is any pain in the knee at all. And then we just creep that left leg back. Take hold of your blanket or your brick, and put that underneath the right hip this time. And then you might walk the hands back. This is the really good sort of antidote for sitting. Walk the hands back. You can even take hold of the mat, the sides of the mat, and just hold the sides of the mat as well. And just first of all, feel that lovely opening. It's really opening that front left hip. Inhale here. And then maybe come down to the forearms to start with. Notice the difference between sitting and coming forward just that far. Or you might want to come forward even further, come prone to the ground. Wherever you are, taking a few breaths of the Soham. Seeing if with every exhalation, you can just let go in your right hip that little bit more. The arms are heavy, the head is heavy. And that right hip is having a nice little space created inside. One more breath. Holding the video if you're watching the recording. And then walking the hands back. And we're just going to move the blanket out of the way to the side. And we're just going to come roll over to seated. And let's just come into those zigzag legs. So you can still keep that right leg in front. The sole of the foot is up against the left thigh, left foot is behind. And just lengthen here. And we're just going to twist round. I'm probably the opposite to you now, am I? Yeah. So twist round towards the back leg, the leg that's more bent. Yes, the back leg. Take a breath there. And back to front. And then twist round to the other side. Just take a breath here. And then back to center. And then we just change the legs round. I'm probably the opposite way to you because I was doing it the same side. So towards the right leg, first of all, twist. And then towards the left leg. Feel that movement in the spine. And back to center. And then lengthening both legs out. Bring the hands behind and just lengthen the spine. Press into the heels of the feet. Lengthen here. We're just going to turn around to the right first and bring a hand each side of the leg so that we're gently twisting our sternum towards that left leg. And we just want to, we're leading with the heart again. So we might not even come down very far. We just want to lead, so we're doing a slight twist in that right and left side. I bring the hands flat and just, first of all, gazing at that big toe, keeping that length in the spine, the heart coming forward, And then just bringing the chin towards the chest, keeping that length. Breathe down to the hips. See if with the exhalation you might release a bit more, even a micromillimeter. And then back up to center. That's it. First of all, feel the length in the body. And then twisting gently, to the other side, sternum coming towards the left leg. Thinking about the heart coming forward first, reaching with the heart. So we're reaching with that heart space, gazing at the big toes. The shoulders are coming back. And then bring the chin towards the chest, but don't let the heart go back. Still leading with the chest, and just take a few breaths here. Maybe let the hands release. And coming back up to center, lengthening out. Just going to do one more. Just walk the hands forward a little bit, reach and pull the ground towards you. Pull the ground towards you and pull the chest out between. So we're not coming down to the ground, we're just pulling the chest through because we're still keeping that opening in the hips. And then we're going to walk the hands back. We're just going to help the knees and the thighs up and bring the soles of the feet together. Bring the hands behind and flutter the legs. So, and then bring the hands to the feet and just lengthen forward. Heart leading again. That's it. So keeping the back of the neck long, shoulders away from ears. And then releasing, coming back up. We're going to do a very slight, very small inversion before we come down to our restorative pose. We're going to do what's called rabbit, which is quite appropriate for just after Easter. Have the knees a little further than hip distance apart, maybe. And we're just going to come into child's pose first of all. It's just coming into child's pose again. And breathing here. In fact, let's get the bolster or the pillows and put the bolster here between the legs or the pillows and just take a few breaths with the head one side. So between the knees, that's it. So we're just in a supported, maybe lengthen the spine. Head one side, take a couple of breaths here. And then head to the other side. Just allow the hips to be heavy. Notice how the hips are at this stage in the practice. Allow the shoulder blades to release. And then just press into the hands and come back up. Move the bolster or pillows out of the way for a moment. And we're going to interlace the hands behind the back and lengthen the front out. So this is a bit of a shoulder opening in rabbit, but a bit of an inversion. Always good to get the head below the heart. Keep your neck nice and safe. And then all we're going to do is lean forward again into child's pose. But we're going to roll over the forehead and bring the hips up. You might bring the feet apart as well. And just come onto the top of the head and raise the arms up. And the hips come over the knees. Keep pulling up with the arms. Just a couple of breaths here. Really good for the head to be beneath the heart for a few breaths. And then just release the arms down. Take the hips back. And just lengthen the arms out in front again. Take a breath here. And then we're going to come back up. We're going to do a restorative pose called heart above head again, actually. What's the Sanskrit word for it? Is Salamba Ardha Dhanurasana. So you can use one blanket or two. You want them to be about the same size. And we want them sort of like, so that what's coming above them is the blankets are going to be about, say, where just below your shoulder blades, sort of where your bra strap would be. I'm going to show you with two because you can probably see it more then, and it's your choice how you feel. So I've got, so you want them to be really flush as well, the edges that your back's coming off. Here, maybe not quite as important, but you do want those edges to be quite nice and flush together. And then we just come to lying down. As you can see, so my hip sort of like, because also it depends on the length of your body as well. But what we're thinking about more than anything is the heart and the head being above each other. And we want to just be able to bring our arms out to the sides. Can you see where my blankets are? I thought the orange one and white would be good because you'd be able to see where they are. You'd either have the hands in a cactus or reaching right out. Another nice thing to do is to bring the soles of the feet together, seeing we've done so much hip opening, and let the knees come out. If you've got pillows or bricks, you could always hold. A nice thing to do is to support the knees so they're not just dropping out. So we've got this nice heart above the head, whole opening across the chest. We've worked the hips, but we're supporting them now. And we're just breathing here. Is everybody okay? So please just close your eyes and just take a few breaths here. I'm just going to read you something while you're here. So the Niyamas are practices that help us clean and cultivate our physical, mental, and emotional palates. When we tend a garden by feeding and watering the plants we wish to cultivate and weeding out those that compete for nutrients in the soil, our chosen plants grow strong and healthy. In the same way, when we cultivate the niyamas, we clear our environments as well as our bodies and minds of those qualities that create agitation, while we strengthen those qualities that uncover our essential quiet mind. Carry on, taking a couple more breaths here. And I just want you to bring the knees up together. The best way to roll off is to just bring one arm over and roll to the side. Roll over to the side, and you might press and just move the blankets away. The blankets down to there. And then we're going to come flat down onto the ground again. We're going to do a twist One final twist here. So let's bend the knees and place the feet on the floor and extend the arms out from the shoulders. Really feel the feet on the floor. And then we're going to press into the feet, have the feet, the legs together, the legs and the knees together. And then we're just going to press into the feet and raise the hips up and just take them over to the left, put them back down again. And that's just taking the hips away from, so they're not in line with the shoulders anymore. And then we want to bring the knees up to the chest, wherever they want to go today, and then take both knees over to the right. Stacking them on top of each other, releasing both shoulders. You might take the left, your gaze over to the left. And just a couple of breaths here. Back up to center. Place the feet down and bring the hips back to center. And just notice what the twist is, maybe, what effect it's had. Feet and legs tight together. Raise the hips up and take them to the right. So to the right of the shoulders. Bring the knees to the chest. This just means the spine's more aligned when we go into the twist. And then take both knees over to the left. Extend the arms. Really allow that right shoulder to release. Maybe take the gaze over to the right. And then come back to center. Place the feet on the floor and square the hips up again. Bring the arms just halfway down towards the body and bring the feet out as wide as the mat. And let's just windscreen the legs to finish off with. Noticing if we've got more space maybe in the hips. Just noticing how the hips are. Noticing how the shoulders are. And then back to center. And we'll just lengthen the legs down, maybe towards the corners of the mat. Bring the arms in just a little bit more. Allow the palms to face the ceiling, the back of the neck to be long. Let's take a nice deep inhalation here, filling the whole body with the breath. And exhale through the mouth. And one more time, inhaling in. And exhale, allow everything to release onto the ground. The feet and legs are completely released. The hips and buttocks. The abdomen soft. The whole of the rib cage is released. The heart and the lung area are soft and floating in all that area, that space we've created. Collarbones relaxed across the shoulders, the shoulder blades. And then the upper arms are completely heavy and released, the elbows, forearms, hands and fingers. Soften the throat, the sides of the neck and the back of the neck. Feel the weight to the back of the head. Soften the crown of the head, the forehead, the whole of the eye area, the whole of the cheeks and jaw area. Allow the body to completely let go of the practice. Allow it to completely surrender to the ground. Pema Chodron, who I've used what she writes before, wrote, when the energy simply flows through us, just as it flows through the grass and the trees and the ravens and the bears and the moose and the ocean and the rocks, we discover that we're not solid at all. If we sit still like the mountain Gampo Latsi in a hurricane, if we don't protect ourselves from the trueness and vividness and the immediacy and the lack of confirmation of simply being part of life, then we are not this separate being who has to have things turn out our way. And then just very slowly, gradually and mindfully, bringing your awareness back to your surroundings, being aware of your environment, the noises outside your space, being aware of your body lying in your room. Gently take the head from side to side. And then just gently bring some movement to the fingers and the toes. And then slowly coming up to seated when you're ready. And just coming up, keeping the eyes half gaze, closed altogether. So just taking a breath here. Noticing how you're feeling after the Ishavara Pranidhana sequence. And let's bring our hands to heart center and press the palms together. And let's bow our heads to each other, to the divine light in each other and to the divine in ourselves. And I hope you've all benefited from the class today and from the Niyama series. And they're always worth sort of going over again, each Niyama, and reminding ourselves. So we'll probably just have a week's break and then start again the week after, if that sounds good to everybody. Or if you'd like 2 weeks, let me know, which would be better, and I'll sort of email around what people think. So just let me know. And get out and try and enjoy some sunshine today.
Thank you very much, Mary. That was wonderful.
Thank you. Great.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Mary.
Everybody have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
And I'll just email you and let you know when we're starting.
Okay.
Okay?
Bye.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, SB. I'll speak to you soon, okay?
Okay, darling.
How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, just teaching, you know, it's hard after Easter because I need to get onto the
Back into the rhythm. I know.
You know, and it takes time.
I know.
Going from holiday mode to
into teaching mode. Have you got a class now?
I got two this afternoon, so I'm just going to. So we'll catch up next week or the other week.
Yes, I'll let me just